This is Del K. Burton. This is The Real Spiel. How is everybody? I hope you enjoyed your weekend. If you're catching this, the day it was put up Monday, January the 30th, about 8:50 a.m. in the morning. Headed in, calling it the live drive. Looking forward to seeing all my Spielites. For those who are new to the page, I'm Del K. Burton. I'm giving it to you straight, no chaser. If words were a weapon, I'd be a bomb. And I'm here to speak about today, again, I've spoken about it once already. I'm here to speak about Mr. DeSantis. And so hopefully I'm not interrupted on the drive. Good morning. I'm on my way to work. Might have a couple of critical calls coming in, so I might have to jump out of the live and come back. But just so I can be quick and brief and get to the point, DeSantis is a liar. I posted a video just earlier today of a young lady from TikTok who broke down that if you go on NBC.com, and that you look for this AP course, they actually posted the curriculum, and they broke down the curriculum in its 4 units. They broke it down to every book, to every section that it's covered. It's covering. They're putting up books. They're talking about the Constitution. They're talking about the slave codes, refugee, slave act, and all these things that have happened in the African American experience. That is history. And DeSantis is a liar because he has actually probably never looked at the information, like many of us have. Black folk too. Even when I went on, I didn't look at the information because my issue was on top of the content, but my issue was his right to say that level of study should not take place, that it was ideologically based, that it's an agenda, and it's so very it's so very incredulous that there is still in America the level of white supremacy that still exists, the level of white academic privilege that still exists, the white political privilege that still exists even now. And we got a lot to talk about, because can I do this real quick? Can I pivot on this? Because I want you to go, and I put this thumbnail up and this picture up and this content up so that you can go for yourself and start to dissect that content, that AP content in Florida. And if African American studies is banned in Florida, then it should be banned everywhere, right? In America, I guess if you can't teach about black people in Florida, I guess you probably can't teach about black people anywhere. And the worst part about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that white supremacy for black people, many of you don't know that white supremacy has been put in your mouth. White conservatism has been put in your mouth, and many of you are espousing white supremacist ideologies unbeknownst to yourselves. And me speaking as a heterosexual black Christian man, strong in my faith, in my belief, in my ideology, in my worldview, in my family approach, I'm here to tell you something, and it's one of the hardest things that I have to tell you. It's one of the hardest things that I have to tell you, because I am not a proponent of this particular lifestyle, but this is what is taking place. White supremacy uses the Trojan horse of the LGBTQ into the black voice so that you can espouse white supremacy. So this is what they do. And I'm going to go on to something else a little bit later. So for the white evangelist conservative Christian racist, see how long that title was? The white evangelical conservative Christian racist. Right? We have to put all those things with it, because you can be a white evangelical conservative Christian and not be a racist. But who these folks are, and this is how they package a message for you. They package it as white, conservative, white evangelical, conservative Christian racism, and they package that for you and wrap it around, and they send it as a Trojan horse with, hey, this is LGBTQ content, LGBTQ messaging. You black heterosexual Christian conservatives don't want that, do you? And then we, without looking at the information, say, oh my gosh, there's homosexual material in here. There's LGBTQ material in here. We don't want it. We don't want that. I'm fine with DeSantis canceling my right as a black person, as a community of Africans in the diaspora, to not have the right to pick our own curriculum because I heard there's LGBTQ stuff in there. I don't want that, right? And so what they've done, because you didn't look at it, you didn't deep dive into it and see that, wait a minute now, this is actual real history here. These are great textbooks. These are topics that black people should discuss. I heard there's LGBTQ stuff in here. That's why I said, oh no, I'm cool with DeSantis just canceling it. No, baby, you didn't look at the material. But what you've allowed is you've allowed them to take the Trojan horse of the LGBT community, something that black folk are very taboo about, of course, and said, oh, you can't have that in here. There's LGBTQ stuff in here. You can't support that, right? And so what takes place is us black folk, right, who are not being marginalized because we are straight, because we are gay, because we are transgender, because we're not being marginalized by white supremacy because of those things, my friends. You're being marginalized simply because you're black. If white supremacy said, hey, well, let's team up with the heterosexual blacks and beat up the gays, some of y'all Negroes would join. If they had a party, if they had a Nazi for heterosexual Negro party, some of y'all would be like, oh, we're okay. They're not chasing us. They're chasing you guys. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Okay? They don't have a pro Black Panther heterosexual they don't have that. They haven't just cut you up into them pieces. So what they've done is they've taken us and said, what do black people argue over? Well, sexual orientation. Oh, perfect. Let's divide them by sexual orientation, right? Let's go back and do what they did in Rwanda again. Let's figure out their differences and divide them up, and then prefer one group over another so that they can fight themselves. Don't fall for it. Period. Do not fall for it. Period. Because they were dragging gay blacks. Y'all didn't know they were probably gay. They were dragging straight. All them folk were standing on the same slave auction. They didn't care about your sexual orientation. They weren't interested in that. They're checking your teeth, lifting your arms up, seeing how strong you are, pulling down your pants and checking your genitals. They weren't worried about whether you're straight or gay. When they were buck breaking black men, right? By these gay colonizers having sex with black men who are chained and tied down to buck break you, did they ask you, are you LGBTQ? How do you identify? Are you sexually fluid? They didn't do that. They raped your black asses because you were black. And they're still raping your black asses now and then telling you, you know what? You should agree with us. You should agree with us because he's gay. Nah, you can't. Listen, this is where all the sissies gotta be like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. This is where you gotta stop twitching and say, hey, you know what? I know you don't like us. And yeah, we don't like y'all. No, we gotta band together. Absolutely. You gotta band together. Because that gay guy can ball a fist up too. Listen there. You gotta go down to Atlanta, tell all them switching brothers, hey, we gotta declare a truce. You go to Florida, tell all those effeminate brothers, hey, my brother, We got to declare a truce. I don't like your color of lipstick, but you're still black. You're not being marginalized because of your eyeshadow. You're not being marginalized because you're wearing them heels, young fella. You're being marginalized because you're black. And heterosexual, black, Judeo-Christian, or individuals who levitate to a traditional family perspective, of which I am not, unfortunately, going to join with colonizers to crucify black people, and because somebody has told me that they're like a little pookie in the booty. I'm not doing it, and I'm telling you straight that this is what they're doing to you, right? I throw a little humor in there just to make it soft, as you know, just mess around with it. But this is what they're doing to y'all, and they're taking the LGBT community, propping them up against the heterosexual black community, and saying, hey guys, due to the fact that there might be some material in here that actually glorifies their lifestyle, which there isn't actually, but this is what they did. You guys should join with us. Don't look at the material. Don't look at it. Trust us. Just don't look at the material. Man, you can't let people get away with stuff like that, man. You can't be so ignorant that you could not see the principle over the details. And this is what I was going on to before, when other folks were telling me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate people pushing me to say, look deeper. I appreciate it. I'm not coming for you whatsoever. I am coming for white supremacy packaged in a way where we are now speaking white supremacy because we lost our lens, our worldview lens. When you look across Africa, when a black person says Africa, you don't say in your head, oh, I only support the Africans that support what I support. You don't think like that. You don't say, when you say Africa, in your head, it doesn't go, well, I don't mean the Muslims. I don't mean the polygamists. I don't mean the tribal people. I don't mean the people that are more, you don't think like that. Africa's Africa. And when you're under siege, which is what you are in America, you don't have the benefit to look across the table and say, bro, you know what? I don't like you because you're wearing red and I'm wearing blue. You don't have the capacity to break into little tribes like that, because you're all going to be gas chambered if you do that. Every one of you. This is why, again, not to drag this community back into the conversation, because this is what DeSantis does. He takes us back into, because we were talking about Jewish people very strongly a few months ago, right? And this is why Jews unite and have their own doggone nation, because they're not dividing themselves up on politics. They're saying, hey, they're killing us because we're Jews, and therefore, because we're Jews, we need to band together. Don't let nobody talk about us, right? This is what that evil organization is doing. That evil organization, right, run by Jonathan Greenblatt, is doing. They're saying, wait, at the end of the day, they're attacking us because we're Jews. So anybody who comes for Jews, no matter what, we're going to fight you. Wicked Jews, gay Jews, Jews that are criminals, doesn't matter. As long as you come for us, we're going to fight you. That's what the Jews have decided. And black people, we need to decide that too. We need to decide that too. Absolutely. They're putting more black men in jail than anybody else. Well, that's because black people are committing more crimes. That's a damn lie. They're killing black children in the womb more than anyone else. Well, that's because you blacks are just having children out of wedlock more than anyone else. That's a lie too. So you cannot allow these folks to slip in these Trojan horse arguments to allow you to not be awoken to the point that you're a frog being boiled slowly, a black frog being boiled slowly. They talk about that. How do you boil a frog? You don't throw them in hot water. Jump right out. Put that sucker in cold water and turn the temperature up little by little by little by little by little, and that sucker will not jump out. He'll sit there while he's being boiled to death. That's what we're doing. Allowing ourselves to be boiled to death little by little, subtly. And you're sitting there now with no rights, no education, no information, no reflection on your own history, no heritage, no conceptualization of your rich ancestry. Growing up kids who sound like white folks, think like white folks, talk like white folks, but are victimized like Negroes and don't know. I thought I was American. I fought for this country. How could you treat me like this? Because you're black, dummy. That's what they've done from the beginning of time. Oh, I thought we were beyond those things. I've heard black kids, and I call them kids because they don't know better, but they're in their doggone 30s. I'm so sick of seeing these slave movies. I want to move on from these. I don't like it. 12 Years a Slave and all these. I'm tired of seeing these movies. I don't want to see them no more. Yeah, okay. But the Jewish person is making sure you don't forget the Holocaust. Schindler's List is on. That's on repeat. But you don't want to see black sufferation anymore. It's tiring to you. You think prejudice is gone and racism doesn't exist anymore. Oh, okay. Bunch of dummies. That's what they are. They're a bunch of dummies. Think like that. DeSantis is living proof that you're a bunch of dummies. Because he's sitting there like with a big old clown nose trying to tell black people, oh well, we're not going to let you teach black studies. That's just not American. Oh my gosh. Woo! I don't get it, bro. I don't understand how you can't step on a black man's shoes in a nightclub and let him not check you. Like, whoa! I went out the other day. I'm standing there with back girl. This man, this little anxious. He's an anxious little colonizer. He wanted to party fast, and he's trying to push his way up. And I'm standing in the line trying to get into an establishment, and he's basically walking on top of me. I'd be like, I had to check him in his little chest and say, hey boy, you stepping on my clothes, man. You stepping on a black man's shoes. I told him that straight. I'm sorry, bro. We'll do that. But when they come for everybody, y'all sit down and talk about, well, there's gay material in there, so. Bunch of black brothers should have showed up at that dude's office and say, come outside. Let's have a conversation. Oh my gosh. We won't check people properly. We don't check people. And you know what? Black men, y'all let black women check these guys before you. The girl that I just posted, you go on my page and check out, it's called DeSantis is a Liar. And I posted, I think she had a little TikTok. And thank you for David Griffin for sending me that. Appreciate you, brother. And he said to me that he says, Del, we don't always agree. But I love the fact that you come for the situations that are pivotal to us. And I appreciate that. And he sent me that, and I said, let me post this, you young girl. Black women are leading the cause more than us brothers sometimes, and it bothers me. And of course, we have some. I'm being one, but we don't have enough, in my opinion. There's time for black diplomacy. There's time for black debate. And debate across the racial spectrum. But there is time for black anger. To stand up in City Hall and say, hell no. Say, oh, anger doesn't solve anything. The Bible tells me be angry, but sin not. That's what it tells me. Therefore, I can be damn angry if I want to be. And some of y'all need to be damn angry about stuff when they are coming for who you are, your identity. Man, too many of us, brothers, sit down and don't check a dude. He should be checked. Seriously checked. Honestly, he should be seriously checked. He should be nervous to say a doggone word about stuff like that. You can't even draw a cartoon picture of the Prophet Muhammad without a bunch of Muslims showing up at your door talking about, hey, Allah Akbar. You start to get nervous, bro. Dudes like that should not be able to say or do things like that and be able to sleep comfortable. Period. Oh, Del, are you inciting violence among blacks? No, I'm not inciting violence, but I'm not taking it off the daggone table either. I'm not taking it off the table. Dudes need to be afraid of you in this type of America, in this type of world. Why do you think America's got more nuclear weapons pointed at everybody else? Think they love America because America's just an good old golden eagle helping everybody else? No, they're the biggest bully in the room. So is Russia. So is Korea. So is China. So is Israel. So, and Iran's trying to be a bully too. This is why they don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons, because they don't want any more bullies in the room. Black people, you're not bully enough in the right sections. Yeah, Farrakhan talks a mean game, but what can Farrakhan really do by himself? He has weaponized the nation, and I believe the nation is a pretty formidable foe. But the nation's not enough. Black Hebrew Israelites, they've shown their muscle lately, but by themselves, they're still not enough. Come on, man. It takes a nation of you guys. It takes a nation of you. I don't care if you're standing up in a tutu, as long as you're ready to fight. I don't care if you painted your toenails and you got glitter on your lips, big fella. As long as you're standing shoulder to shoulder and you're aiming your issue at the enemy and not at me. You guys don't have the liberty. I don't have the liberty at this time. I thought I did when I was younger. I don't have the liberty to come for gay dudes if the gay dude has an agenda to stop the same nonsense I'm having an issue with. All right? If you're fighting for gay rights, I ain't helping you. I'm not interested in gay rights. I'm not interested in LGBTQ rights. Y'all Negroes, y'all don't have rights simply because you like sex a certain way. The rights come as humanity. I want human rights for black people to be the exact same as everybody else. Period. I'll start figuring out later on, once we have a nation, once we have actual stuff, we can figure out later on about that other stuff. But I don't have time to talk about that right now. I don't have time to be focused on your doggone bedroom, wherever else you decide to do it. Yeah. Some of you are so anxious to put together a nightclub or a party, but you won't put together a political group that screams out what you need. Black folk great at putting up a strip club. Put up a political club. Put up a club that causes us to sit down and think about what's next. Shango, Mongo, you put up some kind of reckless establishment of debauchery quicker than you'll put up a school. And wonder why white folk are telling y'all your education is illegal. Oh man. Yeah, I'm a little angry at us. We're not the enemy, but we need to be woken up. You need to get your face splashed. If you tell somebody, hey, listen, I need to wake up at a certain time to get to work, and they let you sleep, right? They let you sleep. Shouldn't you be angry at them? You say, hey man, I thought I told you I needed to wake up. Yeah, but you look so good sleeping, I didn't want to bother you. What? I'm not going to let you sleep. I'm going to throw water in your face and say, wake up! Black people in Florida, you need to wake up. Wake up. Send this out to somebody. Send this out to your friends. Send this out to your enemies. Send it out to your white colleagues. Send it out to your black colleagues. Let all of them know that we need to wake up. That if they're banning it in Florida, they will ban it where you are too. It's called a precedent. Once you allow precedents to be established, trust me, they will continue. Precedents against black people are contagious. They are the true venereal disease of our community. You cannot let precedents of very, very poignant black anti-racism exist, especially from governments. This is Del K. Brereton. This is The Real Spiel. I love you, man. I'm just trying to wake you up. All right? Let's look at a couple of comments and I'm getting out of here. A section of the topic, gender equality, black feminism and feminist movements. Let me talk about that. That's very important. Feminism is a very important topic for black women. It's a very important topic for two reasons. There's positive feminism and there's negative radical feminism. And the conversation of how the white feminists took black women, took them away from the mentality of family, took them away from the mentality that they have to be partners with the black man, and broke up the black family. Also, there are people like Shirley Chisholm that demonstrated that women of intelligence who could run for politics should. She ran for president. So there is a balance there that cannot be ignored. And just because you are sensitive about black female feminism on one side or the other does not mean that we should throw out the whole curriculum. These are conversations and debates that need to happen, where black men and black women need to sit down and understand the difference between feminism, which is bringing women to an equal playing field in the corporate world, and radical feminism that's telling black women today that they don't need a man, and they don't need the black husband, and they don't need black paternity, and the attack that is going on the patriarchy of the black family. Those conversations need to happen. This is an advanced course. Kids will sit down and talk about this stuff. So we can't throw it away because we don't like that topic. I'm sorry, we can't. It's important. And it has to have a conversation, because we're sitting here, talking about it on social media. Let's talk about it in the academic spectrum, so that we come out with healthy families again in the next generation. That's just my opinion. All right? That's why I want to look at the topics before I came off here. Yes, our scholars did create the curriculum, apparently. Apparently they did. They did create the curriculum. So, Linus says, no, sir, I'm not sure what she means. Peace and blessings to my brother. Thank you, Miss Ann. Good to see you. And all of the Cyclopses. Ban it. Yes, ban it. Everybody's saying ban it. Listen, man, you cannot ban information. Let me tell you something, as I close, the harder you try to catch the wind is the more it will fly out of your hands. Information can never be banned. You can't ban it. You can't pretend like it doesn't exist. God himself did not ban information. He put it in the tree of knowledge of good and evil and said it's here. Don't eat from it, but he couldn't ban it because he would be banning an aspect of reality that was real. Good and evil. He could have not created evil, but he would have been lying. He would have been misappropriating reality. God himself had to say evil is a thing. So therefore, if you ban something, you never get the opportunity to dissect the good and the bad. The truth cannot appear unless lies sit there. The absolute truth must be looked at, not in a vacuum, but in a full-fledged conversation of people saying, let's put all the truths and the fictions and the perspectives on the table. You can't ban it. You have to talk about it. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm the brown-skinned assassin. Shoot, never passing. That black man that y'all sometimes don't agree with, but I'm here to give it to you. Straight with no chaser. Mwah! The real spiel. I love all of you. I'm coming back to talk about those young boys, that young boy who was killed by those black officers. And what I have to say, you're not going to like. I'll talk about it later. Bye.